Choke, no joke, no joke, no joke, no joke. You know what it is.
In 900 feet, turn left on 12th Street.
What up, what up, what up, world? This is Mistah F.A.B representing Oakland, California. We all have a story to tell and a lesson to learn. This is just my story. The air way, not the other way.
Check it out. Choke, no joke. Learn from mistakes. DJ S&S the great. It ain't no telling you be a first-time felon. No telling when you be a first-time felon. It ain't no telling you be a first-time felon.
Yo, what's going on? It's Mistah F.A.B, and this is my story coming out of my mouth. What's going on? Oakland, California representative, born and raised in Oakland, California. How old am I? I don't know how old I am. I don't know if I want to tell my real age on this thing, man. You're never supposed to ask a king his age, man.
How would you say was your upbringing? Poor, middle class, or rich?
Shut the door. The way I was raised, growing up in Oakland, California, we were poor, but didn't realize we were poor. And why I say I didn't realize I was poor, because my mother did the extra to fill in the void of which was left in the infancy. I lived two parts of my life before I reached an adult. I had, in my adolescent ages and childhood, in the infancy stages, my mother was on drugs and my father was on drugs. And my mother would do, she would give her money to the dope man before she gave it, to take care of her family and provide for her family. Once my mother got clean, she made a vow to spoil me beyond measure, whatever she could do. So she would work 3-4 jobs to take away the reality that we were actually poor. And living in the buildings, living in Section 8 homes and things of that nature, you really didn't realize that you were poor, because when I looked up, I had everything that a child wanted. I had all of the brand new Jordans, I had the video game systems and things of that nature. But as you get about 16, 17, you begin to realize, wow, we really are poor. You start to analyze your neighborhood and doing an analytical dissectomy of your neighborhood. You start looking at it like, wow, my neighbor, this person's on drugs, and I'm in a real low income environment, and we actually are poor. But my mother did a great job of disguising it, and I'll forever honor her for that.
All right, cool. Did you grow up in a single or co-parenting home?
My father died. I grew up in a single mother home. My mother, a single parent home. My daddy died when I was 11 years old, 12 years old. He died to complications with HIV. And my mother did the best that she could of being a great mother-father. She married when I was around 13, and I have a wonderful stepfather that's still alive to this day, who was a blessing, because he took up a woman that had been going through a lot of things. He dealt with a lot with my mother. My mother was a hard act to follow, and she was someone who came with a lot of baggage. And he did a great job, man. He was and I credit him for that till this day. And you don't normally see a lot of people giving credit to their step parents because of, they're not their biological parents. And so the respect level is not always at the highest level, but I have nothing but the utmost respect for my stepfather, because here it is, a man who came in dealing with a woman that was recovering from drugs, and she had her demons, being very overprotective of her only child. Where in many cases and scenarios, she would put me before him. And that's very challenging for a man to deal with when you're marrying a woman. So my mother put him through a lot of stuff, man. But, he stayed there, he stayed firm, and he's a man's man. He told me the gift of getting up every day, of going to work. I never seen him not go to work. I'm talking about, this is a guy that worked every day, who didn't drink, who didn't smoke, who didn't have any vices, that was visible for a youth, a negative influence. And he was a great man. And he showed me what it was like to go work for what you believe in. And he got up every day and he worked. He worked very hard and took a lot of responsibilities that he didn't have to take. And I respect him.
Yeah. Remember Shaq had that joint about his stuff.
Oh, for sure. That was one of my favorite songs. I'm Outstanding by Phil.
Yeah.
Most definitely. It's one of my favorite records.
As a kid, what did you think you were going to be in life?
Once I set my mind on what it is that I wanted to be in life, that's what I drove for, and I tried to continue to push forward towards that. I mean, early in the ghettos across America, you know, everybody wants to play sports. So it was, you know, hoop dreams, and it was, you know, those sports dreams that as you get older, you begin to be like, well, school, money, hustling, girls, really different distractions that challenge your discipline. But once I set my mind on saying that this is what I wanted to do musically, I wanted to be a writer, I wanted to be an author, I wanted to be some form of influencer with my, in the position that I was in through words. And once I set my mind on that, man, I've been on it ever since.
Cool. What would you say was your first career choice?
My first career choice was basketball, but that was a dream. I think that when we're young, we confuse dreams for career choices. Now, that would be a career of preference if that's something that we wanted to do, but it's not a career until you're able to be paid for it and until you're able to reap the benefits of that labor. But we all had childhood dreams of, you know, taking it to the next level of being a sports, someone involved in sports, and we all played sports growing up. But I think I had my mind set on wanting to be an artist, entertainer, 15, 16. 14, 15, like, you know, from drama classes and a lot. And my mother invested in that. My mother invested in, one thing about her, she invested in me and my dreams. So it was never about how was I going to fund them. It was always just going after them. And that's something that even made me feel more passionate about following them once I got on that course. What up, what up, what up, world? This is Mr. F.A.B representing Oakland, California. We all have a story to tell and a lesson to learn. This is just my story, the Airway.